All right, I'm going to start with just a couple preliminary comments. We made a coaching change. I think that's obvious by now. I'd like to thank Dallas and Ingrid for their commitment to the Edmonton Oilers and the city of Edmonton in the time that they've been here. I really feel the same way now as I did when I hired him. He's an excellent coach. I was happy with a lot of things. I had no real good reason to do this outside of performance, and that's really the bottom line that we're all judged by, is the performance level of the hockey club and certainly the record. And I would point to those things solely as the reason for this change. I'm going to step in and take over the coaching duties of the team along with Todd Nelson. Todd Nelson is going to come up from, they're flying into Charlotte today, so Todd will fly into Phoenix tomorrow, and he will join me as I transition the team and the responsibilities of the team over to Todd. I know the personnel well, so I want to help Todd with that transition. I want to be clear in my messaging to the players. I want to get in and get into the trenches. I think I've got a very good idea and understanding of what the dynamic is there, but I want to get my hands on it for a short period of time. And then I will transition it back over to Todd. Todd will remain as interim coach for the remainder of the year. I'll open it up now for any questions.
We'll go Ryan and then Terry.
Craig, not so long ago you talked about the fact that you felt the message was the right one, that Dallas still had the room, that you didn't think a coaching change would necessarily be the fix. What's changed from that message just a short time ago to today?
Well, it's just the compounding of the losses, and the losses have an emotional toll on everybody in the organization, at least they should, and in particular the coaching staff. And I think that the fact that we weren't able to get any traction at all after that, it just led me to believe that the timing was right for a coaching change now.
Terry and then Jason.
Craig, can you discuss to what extent that the owner might have been involved in this decision, to what extent Nicholson might have been involved in this decision, and to kind of deal with the idea of the perception that if you didn't change anything, the Connor MacTavish had been out there and all that.
Well, I think I have complete autonomy with the hockey club, and obviously there have been internal discussions between Bob and myself, but the decision was solely mine. So I made the decision based on what I thought was appropriate for the team.
Jason and then Jim.
There was another part to that.
Oh, sorry.
The Connor MacTavish sweepstakes or whatever.
Well, it's not in anybody's DNA in this, in professional sports to talk about that or to try and do that. We're very much trying to turn the performance level of the hockey club around, and certainly our draft our draft status had no bearing in this decision.
Jason and Jim.
Craig, when you look at the lineup you gave Dallas to work with as a coach, do you think you gave him enough, and do you then think he got enough out of what you gave him?
Well, two good questions, and I mean, there's blood all over my hands in this too as well, because I put the lineup together and the roster, and I'm not here to absolve myself of accountability for the situation that we're in, nor am I here to solely blame Dallas for the job that he did, because in my mind, he did a lot of really good things for our group. This group had a long way to go. I think he brought them a significant distance as the bulk and the core of this group matures and gets their game to a level of maturity that would allow us to have more success than we've had now. But it's just the compounding of the losses that led me to this decision.
When you coach, Craig, your team's had a reputation of at least working hard. You didn't, maybe got outskilled some nights, but you had a strong enough work ethic. Does this group have a strong enough work ethic?
Well, we'll see. I mean, for me as a coach, the core principles have always been execution, competitiveness, and hard work. And I mentioned those three core pillars of performance 10 days ago. And it's not going to be a complicated message from Todd or I about what the expectation is for this group. We've got to attend to those three core principles, and they've really been the foundation of the great teams here that we've had. Certainly not in the recent history, but in the past history, there's always been a level of accountability, hard work, competitiveness that we very much want to see improve.
Jim, and then Mark.
Mac, you said you're stepping in now, but Todd's going to be taking over. Does that mean Todd's going to be the coach next year, or are you going to start another whole?
Well, Todd,
search?
Todd will be taking over currently, and I will transition the team to Todd's control in the not too distant future as we transition the personnel. Then Todd will take over on an interim basis, an interim head coaching basis from now to the end of the year, and he will be assessed like every other coach based on the performance and the way that he can drive performance with this group.
Can this team, with the fan base, can you have another coach who's never been a head coach in the NHL?
Well, I think we can. Otherwise, we wouldn't be making this move right now. But at the same time, we understand the concerns, and we want to leave the door open and the flexibility of making a decision at the end of the year. I think that's that philosophy and strategy is fairly clear in my mind.
Mark, and then Derek.
There's clearly bigger problems inside the organization than things that Dallas could solve. His lineup just wasn't good enough due to the draft, due to pro scouting, due to many things. How far does this go? Does it stop with firing a head coach, or does the organization keep getting looked at here?
No, everybody in the organization continues to be evaluated. My superiors are going to evaluate me. We'll evaluate our scouting staff. We've got to make changes. To think that this is a coaching issue would be naive. It's deeper rooted than that, and we have to get to the core of it, and we will.
Derek, and then
When
Ryan.
it comes to the assistants that Dallas brought in, are they still around?
There's no other moves at this time to announce, and we go into Phoenix with the same support staff.
Ryan and Dean.
Craig, your core group of players, they've been through a few coaches now, and you said the message from coach to coach was basically the same. I assume the message you'll be giving to them with your time there will be similar. How much of this in your mind is on those players to make significant changes in what they're doing?
Well, to me, it's 100% on the players to play the brand of hockey that is necessary to win at this level. And that level of execution is close, but it's not at a level that's allowing us to have any success whatsoever. And it's not leaps and bounds, but there has to be some change in the mindset, some change in the work ethic and the competitiveness of the group for us to turn those one-goal losses into wins and try and turn this around in a fashion that we haven't been able to do so far. It's we've made a lot of changes, and we haven't got any traction. So we continue to make changes and hope that some of this will get rooted, and then we'll start moving forward.